A joint project between Sony Computer Entertainment and From Software, Bloodborne was released for the PlayStation 4 in early 2015. And although the console has seen hardware revisions of which the game could theoretically take advantage, Bloodborne's performance is sadly locked behind an arbitrary 30 frames per second limit at all times, regardless of the present system's hardware specifications. Later titles sharing the same game engine, such as Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro, would receive small updates or even launch with native support for more powerful hardware, meaning there's no such performance limit in those cases. But as the PlayStation 4 console generation draws to a close, Bloodborne looks set to receive nothing of the sort. Like all other games sharing the same engine before it, Bloodborne does have a debug setting which allows the framerate cap to be set to 60 FPS. But because all elements of game logic are set to iterate a fixed amount per loop, ignoring the actual measure of time passing between each frame, this simply causes every aspect of gameplay to run at double speed, which is far from the result we'd be hoping for. However, by studying the changes later introduced to the game engine by Dark Souls 3's PlayStation 4 Pro enhancement patch, and backporting a number of my discoveries to Bloodborne, I've been able to completely eliminate the 30 FPS cap from the game. Furthermore, by implementing some number of performance-focused optimizations that don't exist in Dark Souls 3 or Sekiro, Bloodborne is able to actually reach 60 FPS. Drastically outperforming other games which use the same engine when running on PlayStation 4 Pro hardware. Playing through Bloodborne at such a dramatically higher frame rate is an almost entirely different experience, and one which is surprising to see work so consistently across the majority of the game's campaign, including the old Hunters expansion pack. Without modification, all character, enemy, and environmental animations automatically work at this higher frame rate without issue. However, a vast array of features such as cloth physics, particle and special effects, environmental wind, enemy patrol pathing, motion blur sampling rate, and elevator movement speed all require manual patching. This way, gameplay logic is correctly adjusted based on the amount of time that has passed between each frame, rather than being locked to a fixed time step. Thankfully, real-time cutscene cinematics have full support for arbitrary frame rates right out of the box, resulting in far smoother performance during playback.
Beasts all over the shop. You'll be one of them, sooner or later.
And so, the hunt begins again.
With this 60 FPS patch applied, the enhancements to both gameplay and presentation are immediately obvious, as the moment-to-moment gameplay, traversal, and combat encounters take on an entirely different feel. However, it is in Bloodborne's boss encounters that the myriad improvements can be most obvious. The elephant in the room is of course those aforementioned performance-focused optimizations, with the keen-eyed amongst us likely having already noticed that the game's rendering resolution has been dropped from a native 1080p down to 720p. The engine still upscales this to 1080p for the final video output, however this does affect both the in-game visuals and UI elements regardless. While I personally am quite happy to sacrifice video resolution in favour of a higher frame rate, this of course may be a preference which varies from person to person. It's hard to imagine whether PlayStation studios themselves might be willing to similarly patch Bloodborne to take advantage of the enhancement capabilities of the PlayStation 5, or if perhaps From Software might someday recompile the game from source with native support for more powerful hardware. If done in such an official capacity, access to 60 FPS gameplay could become available to a wide-reaching audience. As for this patch that I've created in the meantime, you can learn more about its release and usability in the notes accompanying this video. If you'd like to see a more technical analysis of Bloodborne's performance and stability while running this 60 FPS patch under a variety of conditions, you can find that over on Digital Foundry's channel via a link below. But in this case, I just wanted to share how Bloodborne at 60 FPS looks and feels without so much focusing on the numbers and technical details. A monumental effort went into bringing what you've seen here to life, so I hope you might have enjoyed a look at what I've created here. If you did manage to enjoy this video, feel free to let me know by clicking the like button or maybe leaving a friendly comment below. I'm always working on new things to show you from a variety of games, so please make sure you've subscribed to keep up with my work going forward. In the meantime, you can find more ways to follow and support my work in the description, and either way, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.